Hello and welcome. Today I have another installment of Feature Friday for you guys. But before I get into that, I would like to mention that I was on the latest episode of Warships podcast with Aerroon and Kami-Samurai. We talked about patch 0.5.12 and what kind of changes it will bring, and then we also talked about Ranked Season 5, the upcoming Ranked Season, and what kind of ships should be, in our opinion, the best ones for it. So if you want to find it, you can click on the link in the description of the video, or you could just Google Warships podcast if you want the episode that I was in, then just add my name to it. So anyways, back to Feature Friday, I guess. So we have Feature Friday by a guy named Roller in the Blyskawica. Although, if we're honest, then the email actually said that he was named Billy Mays. I knew he wasn't dead, I just knew it. So, this match is on the map Trident, and it's a tier 7 Polish destroyer. Because it's Trident, I started the recording really early, because it's such a small map and you get, into the combat very soon. Roller went towards the B cap immediately, which, he just arrived at. And now he's already spotted. He is using Concealment Expert, by the way. And as is usual in Feature Friday fashion, he scrolls to go into artillery mode instead of using shift or binding it to another key. He scrolls. At this point, if you tell me that people do it just to troll me, I would believe you. Luckily though, it doesn't annoy me as much as it seems to annoy some certain viewers. So the Blyskawica is an excellent tier 7 destroyer. Her biggest weakness is her really poor rudder shift time, but she is very strong at fighting. Because she has very strong or very good gun arcs, and she has 7 guns as a destroyer. That is something that other DDs just really can't match up with. On top of that, she has 8km torpedoes, so she can still torp, especially with a Concealment Expert captain. And she is definite. Oh my god, that Königsberg just got so damn lucky. Did you just see that? The torpedo just disappeared. By the way, with AP you can citadel these German cruisers as Blyskawica. You can also do the same with Soviet destroyers. Although I guess technically the same thing applies to even the Japanese and US ones, but it tends to generally be less dangerous. Arcs for the US destroyers and, rate of fire for the Japanese ones. The HE on the Blyskawica is very powerful, and in general she is a strong destroyer. And I believe that this is going to be a very strong match, because it was sent to me and it's on the map Trident, so highest tier is tier 7, although I think you can actually get tier 8s on this map, they just aren't in this match. So, he managed to get the B cap, and with smoke he is shelling the Congo, making her blaze, or be ablaze. And his team tried, at least I think they tried capping A, but for some reason they gave up on it. The enemy team has capped C, so right now the points is pretty much the same. His team has killed more enemy ships, and I believe this Nicholas is already dead. Did you just see that? 4000 damage in 1 DD salvo. And now goodbye Nicholas. So it seems that our Billy Mays here is intent on heading over towards the C cap. I don't know if that's a good idea though, because there was a battleship in there, and I believe the battleship probably hasn't gone too far. And if you look at the minimap, you can see that König is gonna have a very good time fighting that Sims at close range. A very, very good time. Yes, a very, very good time. Half the HP on the König is already gone. And, well, goodbye König. You're not the king anymore. So, well, Billy Mays over here spotted the enemy König, and she was a bit too close range. Fortunately, it seems the König wasn't very good at punishing Mr. Mays over here, so He got away with it, without taking a bunch of damage. Now he is heading towards the Sims though, and if you look at where the ship is going, he seems to be playing a bit odd. As a Blyskawica against a US destroyer, you actually want to be the one that is increasing the range. Because the closer you get to the Sims, the deadlier the Sims becomes compared to you. Due to the gun arcs of Blyskawica, you'll be fine at range, but the Sims often isn't. So I feel that the roles were kind of reversed in this current scenario. Although, of course, when I play the ship, I often, in random battles at least, think that usually I consider myself to be slightly better than the average player at least, so I'm not very afraid of running towards them, because I want to make sure that I actually get the kill. In ranked it's a bit different though, because then you play to win and then you don't try to do these foolish things. So it might be fairly okay that he did just that, because I do the same thing. And this König is also having this having a nice barbecue over there with 3 fires. I don't know what you need 3 fires for. You only need 1 fire to grill something. Multiple fires doesn't really improve it. I guess if you have more guests, then having more fires means you can grill more things at once. And it seems that Mr. Billy Mays over here has successfully taken the sea cap, or will successfully take the sea cap. He managed to fight off the Sims and make the König run away. What a pansy of a king. And it seems that actually this isn't enough for Roller over here. He seems to be intent on trying to fight this König, and not at range, but at close range. Luckily for him though, the König doesn't appear very intent on shooting him, because I do think that the König could have just killed Roller over here. He could have just AP'd him over like a bunch of times and then Roller would have been dead. He stopped his ship so that he would have an angle to fire at, and the enemy König managed to run aground. And because the guns were pointed elsewhere, she isn't much of a threat. Even if she now wanted to kill Roller, he couldn't. There is a Sims coming in though, and I believe those shells are aimed at Roller, and because he isn't really moving, those shells were fairly accurate, and as you could see, he just took 1700 damage from the König, and those, I believe, were only 2 guns. So imagine if those had been, or 2 turrets, imagine if those had been 5 turrets. That could have been an extra 2000 damage there. And I believe that that would have, like, you only needed 2 salvos for that, and the König would have killed that Roller over here. I think these torpedoes are meant for the Sims that was near the König, sorry, and they might hit. So the Sims is coming in directly at Roller, and I believe this is a very dangerous thing to do, because it's difficult to...
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Yeah, it's difficult to dodge torpedoes when you're sailing directly towards them. And you just saw that it is difficult. And the Sims paid the price for it. So Roller used smoke, and because of the angle that he saw the Sims coming in, he should know that the Sims didn't torpedo, so he doesn't have to be afraid of it. And because the Blyskawica has good range and good firing arcs, he can easily fire from here at the targets that are spotted from far away. Unfortunately, the König wasn't, but at this point she is, so it's possible for Roller to finish her off, although the fire RNG on Roller is nuts. This is some insane fire RNG. He already has 12 fires in 203 shell hits. I've had a Kiev game where I had with Demolition Expert, where I had like 120 hits and I got like 1 fire. And that's Arsonist for Roller on the König. Unfortunately, the Budiani got away, but so far it's okay, I guess. So now Roller probably is going to go back towards the B cap, because it doesn't appear that anybody on the enemy team is inside it, so he should be able to take it. They are behind in points a little bit, but it's only 5 points, and nobody has still capped the A cap. It's been 10 minutes and 15 seconds of this game, and nobody has managed to cap A on Trident. And for some reason, Roller's team is all in the top left corner, and I don't understand why. It doesn't... Like, if you spawn over here at the bottom, and then you manage to get yourselves up here, you better damn make sure you actually have the 8 cap, otherwise this is horrible. You're doing a disservice to your team by playing like that. But then again, it's a random battle, so of course these things do happen. So the enemy team has low HP Budioni, full HP Warspite almost, fairly healthy New York, and I don't know about the Pepsi. Roller should be able to take the B cap though, and I believe that these guys should be able to fight off the enemies at least a little bit. All the enemies are at the A cap though, which means that Roller's team might take quite a few losses here. This does mean that Roller should have a good time at fighting this Warspite. His smoke is up in 4 seconds, so that should enable him to do so. And because he isn't spotted, he still has 500 meters to go. He torpedoed and now is using smoke and scrolls in to fire again. I don't know. Why do you guys do this? I don't understand. Anyways, first salvo immediately fire because reasons, I guess. This fire RNG is off the charts. He moves the ship slightly forward. By the way, the way he fired is, if you aim like this and now you hold down the right mouse button, then your aim point compared to where the ship is stays the same, but you can just fire without looking. Also, that Warspite did some amazing torpedo dodging right there. Like, that was incredibly impressive. Like, really impressive. That is exactly how you should try dodging torpedoes. And if that doesn't work, you can always go onto the forums for World of Warships and say that torpedoes are overpowered because, you know, you did all you could but still died to them. It's insane. So this is why I believe that torpedo destroyers need nerfs. That was literally undodgeable. There was absolutely nothing that the Warspite could do without using WAST. So now Billy Mays over here has got the B cap again, and there is only one New York left with 12,000 HP. There's a fair bunch of allies still left, so I believe that they should be able to take care of the New York before Billy Mays gets to get 3-in-1 or get the A cap. He has done 165,000 damage so far in a tier 5 to 7 match. That is very impressive, and he should be able to fire at the New York again. I believe he should have really fired before he got a clear shot, or because, you know, those shells should have gone over the island and you don't really lose anything for doing that. But anyways, there's the victory, and to be honest, Roller over here did quite a bit in this match at least. So, here's the results. 774,850 credits. By the way, if you didn't know, credits are awarded mostly, or in large part, to dealing damage. If you have a match where you don't deal any damage or shoot down planes or anything like that, because shooting down planes is also partly considered to be dealing damage. At least I think it is. If you only cap and do nothing else, you might get a very strong experience result, but the amount of credits you get is very low, because it seems that the amount of credits you make is tied to the amount of damage you deal. Or, you know, pseudo damage, so to say, because it includes things like shooting down planes. I might put up a short clip of it at some point that shows a match like that. So anyways, 775k credits, 10,600 experience, 2,000 free experience. By the way, I believe that he used a free experience flag, and it seems it was during some kind of event that gave some bonus XP. I believe this is how you should use those free XP flags, because they multiplied together and you get more free XP. So he got Arsonist, Kraken Unleashed, two devastating strikes, a high caliber and Confederate, 165,000 damage, 252 shell hits, 3 camp zones, and 5 kills, and an insane 15 fires in 252 shell hits. That is an incredible amount of fires. As a destroyer particularly. I find that to be pretty ridiculous, and one citadel to indicate that an enemy cruiser played really badly. So, in the team score, you can see that he got an insane 3,464 experience. As a tier 7, this is ridiculous because it was in a mostly tier 5 game. You need to have an insane result or insane match to have this kind of a result. And you can see that his team actually did really poorly. Their number 1 has 1,408 experience. The enemy team's number 1 has more experience than the number 2 on Roller's team. And because, you know, Roller's team got the 1.5 XP multiplier for winning, the enemy Sims did so much better, but I guess Roller picked up the slack and won them the game. Because this Roller's team just did really poorly. I don't understand how you can get 368 experience in a König. That seems like you need to just YOLO in and die and do nothing at all. Anyways, in the detailed panel you can see how the damage was done. 68,000 with main batteries, 44,000 with the torpedoes that were undodgeable by the Warspite without using WASD, and 52,000 damage with fires. That was some insane fire RNG. And for some reason it said that you are a team killer with 4. I don't know what that means. I have never had this. I've never been pink in the game myself, so I don't know what that means. If somebody wants to enlighten me, then please feel free to. And in the credits panel, you can see that he made a profit of 673,000. That's some nuts amount of credits left. So anyways, thank you very much for sending it in, Mr. Billy Mace. I knew you were still alive, and also known as Roller with underscores. And I would like to thank now the Patreons on Patreon for supporting the channel. I'm very sorry for not putting out videos recently, but I mean, it is what it is. Thank you for your continued support, Ultra Real, and I hope I see you guys next time.